And the oyster is really not a big player in the industry, but it tastes a little bit like a skirt steak or a hanger steak. I don't know if you've ever had a skirt steak before. It's kind of a yummy, chewy, tasty thing. I gotta spin it around or else I can't get to it. This is called the oyster. There's some blood vessel there too. If I wanted to leave early, I just go like this. I put my finger. Yeah, and it goes there. It's right when it's cleanup time. And then go to your room and put a big Band-Aid on and then come back. Watch a little TV. That's the pelvic bone. If you notice, when I peeled that out of there, this layer came off with it. This is called periosteum, which is not a name that you really need to know. You need to know it more as just bone connective tissue. Bone connective tissue is very, very tough. See that? Like a shoe. All right? So that was on there. It peeled off. Whenever I'm working on meat cuts that are attached to the bone, this is going to be there. Even a beef tenderloin could have some of this on it. A beef strip loin, a ribeye, all of these are attached to the bone, so therefore they could have some bone connective tissue. You definitely want to remove this. Even on a moist cook, that doesn't break down very well. All right, you know that moist cooking will break down muscle fibers and all that stuff. You've braised already, right? What did you braise? What cut?
So the top round.
You braised the top round?
No,
Get out of here.
No, it was
shoulder clod.
It's supposed to be short ribs, but it ended up being
top blade. Like
blade.
little circles with a line in the middle?
Yes, that was it.
Yeah, it's top blade. That's part of the shoulder cloth. Know your cuts. You gotta know what you braise. How would you price it? How would you buy it? How would you call up the purveyor and say, I need something for braising? Ah, sucker.
Right, it's supposed to be short ribs and it's right.
That's good. Short ribs make an excellent braise, but being that we're in a world market, our beef companies here are exporting a lot of short ribs. What do you think that does to the price?
Jacking
Up! So if you can buy that top blade for less and make a nice dish, like a beef carbonara or something like that out of it, you might do well to not use short ribs and use something that's similar in texture and flavor. And that's where your skill as a chef comes into play. You have to be sometimes a little more flexible. Alright, what I'm doing here is just opening this up, and I'm going to roll this thing out like so. So, there's the H bone. Alright? Then you have the big femur bone in here. And to get to that, we divide through here. There's a natural seam. You kind of see it right there. See that little white line? There's like a blood vessel that runs through. Not like a blood vessel, it's the major blood vessel in the back leg. Right there, you can see it. That's the femoral artery that runs through. It's like an anatomy class. Open this, peel off the top round. I want to be very careful to stay on the seams. Natural seams between. See the natural seam just open up?
Yeah.
It doesn't even require much cutting, you're just kind of pulling it apart. Watch. So when I say stay on the seam, that's what I'm talking about. Because sometimes it's easy to go off the road.
And Chef, what's the subprimal cut you're taking off?
This is the top round or inside round.
Inside.
Top round or inside round. It has two names. Top round is more prominent, but you'll see inside round used as well. It's the inside part of the leg, and it was on top. Gotta remember, butchers put these names together. They don't get too complicated. So that's a top round, and that's a typical purchase. You know, you see chefs buying this for what? Primarily for roast beef. Right. It's excellent for roast beef. So you could buy it in this form, more of a drop cut. You could buy it pre-trimmed. You saw I took some of it off already, but you could buy it further trimmed. You could buy it with the what we call the soft side off. That's this muscle here, and you could buy it with the entire cap taken off. Right? So there's a lot of different options today. Different companies have different specs. There is what's called the Meat Buyer's Guide. The North American meat processors have put together a Meat Buyer's Guide, and I'll be giving you one of those for part of this class. I'll issue it out probably tomorrow or the next day, and you'll have that book for the duration of the class. Right? It'll help you with your project. But this cut is in there. It's also in the meat book, the other book, laid out a little bit differently. But each and every cut has a number, according to the Meat Buyer's Guide. But some companies go outside of that and they go into further trimming and